ABC News GH with me, ABENA MANTE. Today, Ghana wakes up to questions that stretch across law enforcement, governance, economics, education, and football on the global stage. In the headlines, a high-profile detention involving the son of the late traditional figure and scientist Kwadwo Safo Akofena I, raising fresh questions about security and due process. At the same time, consumers are bracing for higher utility costs as regulators adjust tariffs. And in our schools, a cultural shift is underway. Education authorities are drawing a firm line against extravagant post-examination celebrations. And when we turn our attention onto the pitch, Ghana faces England today in a high-stakes World Cup encounter that will test not just skill but national morale. And so from courts to classrooms, from utility bills to the World Cup stage in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, this is a morning where systems are under scrutiny and expectations are rising. Stay with us here on ABC in the morning with me, ABENA MANTE. Let's turn our attention to our quote of the day. And today's quote is by none other than our skipper, Jordan Ayew, who says, in football and in life, you must keep fighting even when the odds are against you. At this point, the odds are against Ghana. You know, when we came into the World Cup in our group, we were the least ranked group. What did we do? We put up a fierce fight. We put up a fight that was worthy, and we grabbed our 3 points from Panama in our first encounter. This second one is against the Three Lions of England. What would it be? I believe that the Black Stars of Ghana will make Ghana proud by grabbing another 3 points. It is a Herculean task, but what is victory if it is not surmounting Herculean tasks? I believe in the Black Stars. Today, we rep Ghana, we rep the Black Stars, and we say, go Black Stars, go. Go Black Stars, go. We know that Black Stars will bring us the victory so that we can go to the next stage of the round. We will progress to round of 32. We trust in God and in the Black Stars. And so Jordan Ayew says that we should keep going, keep fighting, even when the odds are against us. Regardless of the things that are in front of us, we will be able to surmount them. This is our quote of the day. Today, we have a lot to bring to you on the show. Bring you the newspaper headlines, bring you some daily gist, bring you conversations that are very, very important, conversations you don't want to miss out on. We'll do conversations on the Black Stars because today we face England in our second group game. And then I'll open the phone line so you can call and share your thoughts with us and also send your best wishes to the Ghana Black Stars. It is the World Cup 2026. I am most grateful that you have joined us today on ABC in the morning. Let's have a great show. We're streaming live Facebook and YouTube, and so if you're leaving home, you can enjoy the show on either Facebook or on YouTube. ABC News GH. Like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Also interact with us via our socials at ABC News GH _. Leave us a comment, and I'll be glad to read that for everybody. And our website is www.abcnewsgh.com. www.abcnewsgh.com. We'll bring you the news as it happens in real time. I am ABENA MANTE. I thank you so much for joining me this morning for the show. After this very quick break, we'll turn our attention to the newspapers and then the conversations continue. Stay with us.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose a tomato mix you trust. because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just heat, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
Welcome back, ABC in the morning live here on ABC News GH. Let's turn our attention to the newspapers. This is the Daily Graphic. What is the Daily Graphic telling us? It says Ghana, England cliffhanger. They settle old scores tonight, and I believe Ghana would emerge victorious. We see Antoine Semenyo and Harry Kane on the front page of the Daily Graphic. NBC names headquarters after Rawlings. Jerry John Rawlings, former president and founder of the NDC. Now the headquarters of the party is named after him. There was a beautiful ceremony that was held yesterday. Floods claim 18 lives in Central Region. Again, I'll keep saying one life lost is one life too many. Floods claiming lives is a disappointment. It heartbreak to us as a nation. May their souls rest in peace. Let's turn our attention to more newspapers. The Inside newspaper is reporting Mahama salutes J.J. Rawlings. SIC Insurance rolls out electric vehicle fleet. ICE nationwide solar expansion in green transition drive. All right. And Care Ghana calls for Ghana card as sole voting ID. All right. And the lies and hidden cost against the real budget far larger than reported. This is about the U.S. military. These are some stories on the front page of the Inside. Daily Times newspaper, continuity is key. Obed Asamoah seeks re-election in a Memphis West NPP primary. Okay, and he's urging delegates to retain him. If they would, we will see on that. Corruption still threatens Ghana's development. Tode Afede urges integrity and accountability. And graduate unemployment, NTC controversy, questions over campaign promises. Ghanaians demand answers. And the big one that is on everybody's lips is electricity and water tariffs go up July 1. Why are they going up already? How many times are the taps flowing? Why are the tariffs going up? Well, would appreciate it if we are given some more information on that. But this is on electricity and water, so please brace yourself for the tariffs will be going up on July 1. Some more newspapers. The Daily Searchlight is also reporting in the 24-hour economy, electricity, water rates up again. PURC announces new utility power price up by 3.49% and water by 0.85% starting July 2026. And disaster in Central Region as floods claim 18 lives, 4 dead in Cape Coast. This is very, very disappointing. Let's turn our attention from the Daily Searchlight to other newspapers. The Chronicle newspaper, Safwa Kofina in police custody. This is on the Ajwa Safo shooting saga. Yesterday, the Ghana Police Service released a statement giving us some updates on the matter. We'll follow this story until the end. And Berma Sapon reconnects with constituents. All right, more newspapers. Let's turn our attention to other newspapers. The Daily Guide is reporting UTAG threatening strike over welfare issues. Yesterday, we had a conversation with UTAG here on ABC in the morning. They say that by June 30, if government has not responded to them with regards to their conditions of service, they would embark on an industrial action. Edugwahene trial investigator details how 49.1 million Ghana cedi moved to private accounts. And on the Adwa Safo shooting incident, there's a story inside, or they say the inside story. Grab a copy of the Daily Guide and read that inside story. NDC renames headquarters as JJ Rawlings House, and tensions rock Bantama NPP electoral album. All right, these are the stories on the front page of the Daily Guide. Some more stories. NPP rebels demand Kennedy's head before 2027 showdown. An IGP sends crack squad to Nkwanta. Special unit deployed as tensions flare and residents fear for safety. Also, energy reforms driving industry and trade. John Jinapor, the energy minister, says so. And Abradu sounds red alert over food reserve cash gap. Let's turn our attention to more newspapers. Africa News Today says fear grips Odome as residents flee following a fresh gunshot attack. What is happening? What is happening? The proliferation of arms. Already there was a gun amnesty. Why are we still seeing arms? Should we expect some more from the Interior Ministry? We will see. And also in the Fija Kwabre South, DCE drives development by inspecting ongoing projects. Okay, and Manhian cites Ashalaja defendants and alleged thugs for contempt. Okay, Zoom Lion manages township waste. Bibiani Anyaso Bekwa MCE declares and intervenes to resolve Ohiam Penny Nika compensation disputes with Ashanti Gold. And Dr. Segbafia outlines Mohammed's financial sector reset. Finally, NDC dedicates national headquarters to Rawlings. Let's turn our attention to more newspapers. Madam Olivia Mensah picks nomination forms for Memphis East NPP Women's Organizer. Raise all the best to her. NDC renames national headquarters after JJ Rawlings, and corrupt citizens are termites eating foundations of development. Tabia Fede, the 14th, and illegal galamsey activities blamed for Summer Boy flooding after blocking main Tano River, and small-scale miners destroy 80 changfangs. All right. The BNFT is also reporting PIAC queries petroleum-funded road project in Volta region. Mining sector's GSC footprint minimal. In sanitation, Zoom Lion begins nationwide fumigation in Accra. And finally, Amanano Community Bank delivers impressive operational performance. Congratulations to you. The Catalyst, Legacy, Loyalty and Leadership. NDC pays historic tribute to founder Christo Asafo Militia or private security. The Catalyst is asking. Let's turn our attention to some more. The Business Analyst Gold Board moves to strengthen gold trading standards through stakeholder engagement, and Ghana records Africa's highest lending. Okay, this is the Africa Development Bank telling us. Interior Ministry suspends Kantanka security license over Adwa Safo shooting incidents. These and many other stories. The Archives newspaper, Bantama NPP boils over selfish interests and manipulation. Corrupt citizens are termites. Let's smoke them out. Togbi Ahwede, an Ioko investigator, drops bombshell in Edubuahene trial. All right. And finally, violence in Chira SHS students brutally slaps junior. He should be brought to book. He should be brought to book. This is becoming one too many in our senior high schools, our second cycle institutions. He should be brought to book for that very despicable act. The Inquirer newspaper, invest in children's moral future. Julius Deborah charges fathers. This is the chief of staff. Well, in his Church of Pentecost Pemem cloth. All right. I take it was in a preaching during the Father's Day. Adam Brobe gets new chief. Dankwa and Stood. Mickey Osei Bear withdraws. All right. Mahama tributes Rawlings. NDC honored him. And Mahama salutes Navrongo Bolgatanga Diocese's 120 years of service. NPA donates essential supplies to Accra Psychiatric Hospital. Well, police arrest Kwejo Safwa Kofina and 2 others. And when we come to our utilities, July 1 hike, power 3.49%, water 0.85%. The Spider newspaper Unspoken Voices project launched to transform lives of Kayaye and widows. And Adam Brobe finally gets a chief as Mickey Osebe chickens out. Father's Day, Julius Deborah urges men to embrace faith and perseverance. All right, to embrace faith and perseverance. And fire in Bantama NPP. Also, Volta Regional Minister declares era of intimidation over. And in more stories, NPP leads NDC with 49% support. APL tracker says so. Increased road fund in 2026 mid-year budget. Okay. And clergymen invoke heavenly blessings upon Osahin for church instruments donation. Well, and so these are all the stories on the front pages of the newspapers. Now let's turn our attention to social media and find out what is making the trends there with Daily Drop.
The Ghana Standards Authority has given 6 mattress manufacturing companies a 1-month ultimatum to recall substandard mattresses from the market after they were shut down for violating regulatory standards. Speaking to the media, Greater Accra Regional Manager Clement Kubati said the affected companies had been formally directed to withdraw their products, warning that stricter enforcement measures would follow if they failed to comply. The affected firms include Jimwanjia Mattress Manufacturing Plant, Munda Ghana Mattresses, ZXZ Company Limited, Rock Foam Mattresses, and 5A Home Company. The GSA says it remains committed to protecting consumers and ensuring compliance with industry standards. Be informed. University teachers would go on strike on the 5th of July. The University Teachers Association of Ghana has warned of a nationwide strike from July 5th, 2026 if the government fails to resolve outstanding salary and allowances issues by June 30th. The union says delay in signing an interim salary adjustment agreement on paid allowances, promotion arrears, and the delayed processing of the 2026 book and research allowances have left members frustrated. In a statement signed by UTAG National President Vera Ofiado and National Secretary Samuel Kingsford Segla, the association described the delays as unacceptable, but reaffirmed its willingness to engage the government in dialogue to avert industrial actions. Be informed.
Now, I am 100% very certain that our African team stands a high chance of winning this year's World Cup. Because the way the African teams will show up for the World Cup, it will be joke at all. But let me take you through some of the round of matches that took place over this weekend. First off, USA cruised past Australia very easy. The USA team, they look very solid, but we hope they will stay solid when we enter the knockout phases, because they managed to beat Australia 2-0 over the weekend. But that will be the real storyline. The storyline with Cape Verde, or Cape Verde, what you popularly know as Cape Verde. Charlie, the way they shocked the big teams, after holding the tournament's favorite Spain to a draw, they managed to hold Uruguay again to a 2-2 draw. You know, Ghana has been struggling to beat Uruguay. For the last double tournaments that we've been in, we've struggled against Uruguay. But Cabo Verde did the job very, very easy yesterday. They scored from a long-range free kick. And in the dying parts of the game, Charlie, the way the guy beat the goalkeeper scored a goal save, he said Cabo Verde then really prepared for this tournament. Another African team that is turning heads at this year's World Cup is Morocco. Charlie, Morocco managed to beat Scotland in the long goal as Ibari's early goal gave them an advantage over Scotland, and they managed to take maximum points in that game as well. And now Belgium were also held to a 1-1 draw with Iran over the weekend as well. Belgium, Charlie, I'm not going to tell because currently the more than they play, it look like Formula no really they inside. Lukaku don't even know what then they do. Belgium went down to 10 men, but they managed to hold them aground as they get a point from Iran over the weekend. Brazil also saw a massive win over the weekend as Cunha in 2 goals pushed them to the top of their group. Germany also managed to beat Ivory Coast over this weekend. The German-Ivorian game there, me I will blame Ivory Coast because how you go score somebody early, hold your ground, then second half you go make one super save make, then it's Undaf. He entered the game now 2 goals for Germany, and Germany got maximum points over Ivory Coast. Currently, Germany have also made it to the round of 32. Moving on to Netherlands, no spare Sweden at all. Sweden, in the beginning of the tournament, you go catch somebody score 5-1. Netherlands also catch Sweden score 5-1 over this weekend. And all the players for Sweden played, so they don't get excuse at all. And for Africa again, Egypt, Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king, proved that Charlie, it no be fluke at all and it's not joke. After giving an assist and getting on the score sheet as well for Egypt, as they managed to get maximum points over the weekend. This World Cup, yeah, it not despair anybody at all. If you think say you big team, you be there, it will shock you say the team you underestimate them. If you itself will take maximum points from your hand inside. But make I ask you one question. Tomorrow, Ghana they go face England. If you be coach Carlos Queiroz, what will be your lineup for tomorrow's game? Let's talk in the comment section. Like, follow, and share for more news. Be informed.
Shatter pull out for court now, then release Webkate. Hey, Okanyampo, if Nana know they will get command. So Webkate has been granted bail in the sum of 100,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties. His lawyers disclosed that they are currently working on the necessary documentation for him to be released today, like today, yeah. We all know that Webkate was arrested several weeks ago in connection with alleged cyberbullying, which involved our very own one guard, Stoneboy, and then his family. His bail application was heard at the Accra High Court, where the court ruled in his favor. So once all the necessary bail conditions are met, he's going to be released. We are following this story closely.
Well, so that's what's trending on social media. Well, we'll take a very quick break. When we return, we'll turn our attention to the Adjoa Safo shooting incident. Yesterday, I told you we'll be looking forward to all of the updates that come from the Ghana Police Service following the arrest of 6 persons. Some more arrests have been made. After the break, we'll look at that and have some discussions on that. Stay with us.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just hits, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
Some things never change. The meals we grew up loving, the taste that brings everyone together, through every pot and every recipe, Gino remains the tomato mix you trust. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
welcome back. It's time for our front story. There's a lot that has been happening since Sunday. Sometime during the day on Sunday, news broke out that former MP for Dom Kwabenya Adwoasafo had been shot at. It turned out that there was a tussle following Adwoasafo's visit to a property that belongs to her family, where an installation of one of her brothers was occurring, and because of that tussle, some security apparatus at the building or at the premises fired some shots into her car. Adwoasafo was rushed to the hospital, where she has since been receiving medical attention. Following that incident, the Ghana Police Service has arrested some 6 persons in connection with the shooting. 6 persons who are believed to be security persons belonging to the Christo Asafo mission. The Ghana Police Service has again updated the populace on arrests that they have made. That is one of Adwoasafo's brother, who is Israel Kwejo Safa Kofina, and 2 others in connection with the shooting incident. We also know that the Ministry of Interior has suspended the license of Kantanka Security Services following what happened. First off, let me take you to a conversation that one of Adwoasafo's brothers, Nakojo Safo Jr., has been having with the media concerning the circumstances surrounding the shooting incident. I'll come back, I'll read the various statements from the Interior Ministry and the Ghana Police Service, and then we'll have conversations concerning this matter.
So all their siblings agreed to it. Sabiu obi a wabo brebia no obey the last testament. Into the last testament, we decide who should take over from the old man. So the siblings and the elders, everybody went into that conclusion. It's out of the blue. That is when we heard about the program that was about to happen. It's in honorable Efrenianum say enko ni eni omonko kasa. Say oh adia muni na etie ho ase no ade na mo say fechi aye bibi fofo, because honorable was always from the opinion say on pe enuanom man tokwa, but the moment the old man decides everything is settled. It, you know, when honorable went there, and I think to me friend enuanom na aka, so I called Joshi them and then the so say omi enko. So after a while, like 20 minutes time, and honorable friend said, Junior, I'm shooting you. So I said, Junior, I'm shooting you. And I say, what? And I'm just so So she drove off herself to the nearest police station at Atomic. That is where I met my sister bleeding profusely with over more than 30 bullets on her car. Yes. And I picked my sister up to the hospital for a first aid, and Sunday at the Nebeko hospital for treatment. And also, I had rumors they say she gave a warning shot, and there was a gun. There's no gun in my sister's car. The car is even still parked at the police station as of now. And I picked my sister up, so there's no gun in the car. So I don't know where that story is coming from. It's the mobile to social media, so be I say Sabiu honorable able to Sabiu yaseka bi yaso the car bi to big gate. When the him send here Toyota Prado here. Definitely some bumper no any bibia ever say if you run into a gate it will be destroyed. Yes, but me personally, and I'm saying omushu too no. Based on what she told me, no friend, you know. Yes, and a man, Mikoko Shiano, our Atomic Police Station. Then we left there for treatment. Yeah. A 200 year, I think later, no, videos came out. That is how come I saw about the Obi Asha Gina Sesabiu or the Etu etch the back glass. It will be the two etch the back glass thinking you are seated there. It speaks a lot. There's no define as assembly saying. Yes, there's no explanation towards that. And that is what everybody could see from the glasses and to the fender. Yes. Nti nyame mpo ne beda na se omututu no. Yes sister etimi escape here or survive here and when your injuries and nyame adaroma she's actually recovering. But as I always say, there was an understanding between the siblings who knew BNP. Everybody agreed, they said it will be respectful, it will be honorable. Say, we don't cram up papa cherry and sana de your papa bekano. You choose to say, oh no, you're then. And I agree to it. All the three boys agree to the same thing. Yes. It's Sabio, and I'll use even me as an example. My mother gave me one advice. She was like, Junior, and I'm so papa toy and Mati say about a leadership thing. So my mother always was from the view, say, so papa nankasa I'm moving director because I saw it, you did to me and then it is all papa nankasa I'm moving director. Don't rush for anything. Yes. So I think, sir, in consultation processes, no more free, you know. I saw him paying for free, man. I was also of the opinion, so whoever that about Bonnie Gino, you know, ye dear Nijie, a bequaco tiny panechi, nay, yet, na ye fair. And now our big sister, so they are no casse. Name pet, sir, you better cry papa cherry, not in your no mema. No, it's a process, cause you say, ya, and then Tokwane Beba. But the yen na ye ja a boy ye jaboni or better na konyan sono. A share a ma any ebusuani na any monyam. Say, oh, papa yi on papa toy or man ya basa basa, a woman papa ye asem. Yeah. Yen see ye papa, yen timi ni you be.
So this is one of Adjoa Safo's younger brothers detailing the events that occurred preceding or the events preceding the shooting on Sunday and after Sunday. Well, the Ghana Police Service has released a statement. Says, please arrest Israel Kwadwo Safo Akofena and two others in connection with shooting incident. The Ghana Police Service has arrested Israel Kwadwo Safo, also known as Akofena, in connection with the shooting incident involving former Member of Parliament for Dom Kwabenya, Honorable Sarah Adjoa Safo, on 21st June 2026. The suspect reported himself to the Regional Police Headquarters on 22nd June 2026 and was subsequently handed over to the Criminal Investigations Department CID Headquarters to assist ongoing investigations into the incident. A search conducted on his vehicle and at his residence at Kwabenya led to the retrieval of 120 rounds of 9mm ammunition, 50 rounds of 45 caliber ammunition, 25 rounds of 40 caliber ammunition, additional loaded magazines and 2 Glock pistols, one of which is registered in his name. Further investigations also led to the arrest of 2 additional suspects, Nana Kwekwe Friye and Kwadwo Safo in connection with the case. All the suspects are currently in police custody, assisting investigations, and will be put before the court on 23rd June 2026. And this is what we are told by the Ghana Police Service concerning the arrest of Kwadwo Safo Akofena, one of the sons of Apostle Professor Emeritus Kwadwo Safo, concerning the shooting incident that involved Adjoa Safo, former MP of Dom Kwabenya and daughter of Apostle Kwadwo Safo. Now the Interior Ministry has released the statement concerning the security service of the Christo Asafo mission. They have released a statement concerning the security service of Christo Asafo mission. Let me read that for your attention, and it's dated 22nd June 2026. Suspension of Kantanka Security Services Limited private security organization license. The Ministry of the Interior has, with immediate effect, suspended the private security organization PSO operating license for Kantanka Security Services Limited, following reports of alleged use of unprescribed uniform, possession and use of firearms and ammunition by personnel of the company in the course of providing private security services on Sunday, 21st June 2026 at Kwabenya in Accra. The decision was taken after preliminary investigations indicated possible violations of the Police Service Private Security Organization Regulations 1992 LI 1571, which govern the operation of private security organizations in Ghana. The usage of unprescribed uniforms, unauthorized possession and use of firearms and ammunition, as well as security accoutrements by private security personnel constitutes a serious breach with significant implications for public safety and security. Consequently, the ministry has directed the company to immediately cease all operations forthwith, pending the conclusion of investigations into the matter. All institutions are advised to refrain from conducting business with Kantanka Security Services Limited, pending the conclusion of investigations and further directives from the ministry. The ministry has further instructed the company to cooperate fully with the Ghana Police Service and to provide all necessary information to facilitate a thorough investigation. The public is assured that the suspension is an administrative measure intended to safeguard public safety and security while investigations are ongoing. Appropriate action will be taken upon completion of the investigations and in accordance with the laws and regulations governing private security operations in Ghana. The general public is further entreated to report any unlawful activities involving private security organizations and their personnel to the nearest police station. Additionally, private security organizations are reminded of the public notice on uniform compliance issued on 5th February 2026 by the Ghana Police Service and are strictly reminded to adhere to it. The ministry reiterates its commitment to ensuring strict compliance with all regulatory requirements by private security organizations and will not hesitate to take the necessary action against any PSO found to be in breach of the law. And it's signed Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, the Minister for the Interior. Well, so now let's move to the phone lines and have some conversations on this matter. Carl Sowa is the head of programs at the Ghana National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. Good morning, Carl. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. I just want to make one correction.
All right.
I'm the acting head of communications.
Okay, acting head of communications, Carl. Thank you for that correction there.
Right,
this issue of Kantanka Security Services, the firing of weapons on Sunday and matters arising have raised a lot of questions about this gun amnesty that was given. Your outfit spearheading the whole initiative. Is it to say the gun amnesty period was unsuccessful?
Well, thank you very much. So this is an isolated case, and so
okay.
It will be, should I say, institutionalization, if we would want to use that as the yardstick to determine the success or otherwise of the gun amnesty. In any case, the Honorable Minister for the Interior will be addressing the press today to give us the outcomes of the gun amnesty, the department, and the way forward. But then, the gun amnesty was given for 1 million Ghanaians who do not have criminal intent to willfully and willingly surrender their firearms without any form of prosecution or questioning whatsoever. Because per law, if you have a firearm which is not registered or licensed, it is an offense, and the law must go with you. But the amnesty, through the benevolence of the government, was enacted or outlined to give Ghanaians the opportunity, 1 million Ghanaians opportunity to surrender these firearms without any form of prosecution whatsoever. So those who did, the law will not come after them. But just as the Honorable Minister said during the declaration of the gun amnesty, anyone who does not take advantage of this opportunity to either surrender their firearms or declare their intentions to regularize the use of these firearms will be treated as people who have criminal intent and want to use these firearms for criminal purposes. Yes, so that is what I want to establish. Yes.
Well, Carl, this is a huge issue to see that in broad daylight, private security persons firing these rounds of ammunition. Does it not raise a concern when it comes to the proliferation of arms with regards to private security and how they also are going outside of their remits?
All right, so thank you very much. The issue of illicit proliferation of arms has always been an issue, not just in Ghana, but worldwide. And that is why, as a commission, the National Commission of Small Arms and Light Weapons is doing everything possible and within our mandate to ensure that there is effective arms control. And then those who want to own these firearms legally, and they own it responsibly, and they use it also responsibly. That was why, like you said, we spearheaded the gun amnesty program under the leadership of the Ministry of the Interior, so that we give Ghanaians the opportunity. Now, coming back to the private security organizations, there's an act that governs or regulates their operation, LI 1571. And you see, if you look at the law, private securities are not authorized or given the permission or the right to bear firearms. Even the uniforms, they need to seek clearance and be given approval. So any private security that bears firearms is actually working against the law. And once we find out, the law will come after such companies. Now, I want to also caution the public. When you have a firearm which is licensed to you, it is like a driver's license. It is for you alone. You can't give it to anyone else to use it. If you are in the same household, even your son can't use that firearm because it was licensed to you. It bears your name. It gives the condition for which you went forward for it to be registered for you. And it must be used for that purpose. So people should shy away from the practice or the culture of licensing a firearm and giving it to his brother or a friend or a colleague to protect his property. If you went to register the firearm to protect your property, then make sure that you are doing it yourself. You can't register the firearm in your name and give it to someone else to use. That is an offense. So this is a caution I want to sound to Ghanaians, that people may say they don't know, but you know, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So now you know, now you are being educated. Thank you.
Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse, but this raises a lot of questions about the way private security in the country carries itself. Now, the Minister for the Interior has directed the suspension of the license of the Kantanka services. Carl, in your capacity as a small arms commission, how has your oversight responsibility been like with regards to the usage of arms in the country?
All right, so thank you very much. I was struggling with the line, but if I heard you correctly, you wanted to know in terms of our responsibility.
Yes, with regards to the use of arms in the country.
Okay, so just as I stated earlier, one of the key thematic areas that we are looking at is effective arms control. The responsible use of firearms, its registration, and then its usage, including storage and all. So we've been doing a lot of public education and sensitization for those who may not know to know what the law says when it comes to the possession and use of firearms in the country. We've been having a lot of stakeholder engagement, school sensitization. If you've been following us on the news and in social media, you realize that we've been going to the schools a lot. We've been having stakeholder engagement. We've been working collectively with the security agencies, the other sister security agencies, to ensure that there is effective arms control. And so Ghanaians should also play their part as we play our part. You know, like they say, it takes two to tango. When we are compliant, I always say that when we are compliant, we have a peaceful and gun violence free Ghana. Just as you are mentioning the security agents that was using very firearms and having unauthorized uniform, if they are compliant, they will act within the remits of the law. You see, when people register their firearms, they know that the eyes of the law is following the usage of that firearm. So that alone keeps them in check. And they are not able to mishandle the firearm, or the possibility that they use that firearm irresponsibly is actually limited. So we'll go on with the public sensitization, and we thank you, the media, also for the role you are playing in giving us the mileage in terms of our public sensitization. But like Oliver Tunis, we'll ask for more, because Ghanaians need to know. I always say that one firearm in the arms of the wrong person can cause so much havoc in the community and in the country. Thank you.
Well, Carl, again, when the amnesty, the gun amnesty period was given, you went ahead as a commission to extend the period in conjunction with the Ministry of the Interior. Now we are at a point where enforcing your decisions concerning the amnesty and the days after will prove to be a game changer for the journey ahead. What are our expectations of the Small Arms Commission to ensure that it is not a talk and sleep matter? But then you said that after the amnesty period, anybody who has not surrendered their guns would face serious repercussions.
All right. So thank you very much. And I want to just indicate that the extension was done by the Honorable Minister for the Interior. He was the authority to extend, not the commission.
Okay.
Yes. So he extended the gun amnesty program. Now, like I stated earlier, we have a press conference this morning where the Honorable Minister will speak. So I wouldn't want to jump the gun. But I can promise you that I'll be available for you today or any other time once he speaks. See, I want the landlord, the Minister for the Interior, where we are an agency. We are an agency under the Ministry of Interior. So I would want our head to speak. Once the Honorable Minister for the Interior speaks on the outcome of the gun amnesty, the impact, the way forward, the measures that have been put in place, then when you call me, I'll be bold enough to also speak on these issues.
We would appreciate that. But finally, before you go, Carl, for any person who wants to own a gun, how many guns are any person, man, woman, allowed to own on their person? How many would you register or allow to register for them?
All right. So thank you very much. This is a tricky question. You see, the thing is this: if you want to protect yourself and you come forward, the law has done its work, and you are deemed fit to possess this firearm to protect yourself, I think one firearm should be enough. Unless you want to tell me that you want to build an armory in your house or your household, which in itself is a danger to you and to your loved ones around you and the people in the community in which you live. You see? So if you really want to protect yourself, I think one gun should be enough. Should be enough. But not to evade the question, you see, the law as it speaks now doesn't give a limit to the number of firearms an individual can possess. But when you come to register your firearm, there are certain processes or procedures that you need to go through, and certain criteria you need to meet. So if you come forward to register your firearm for protection, and you are coming again to register the same firearm with another firearm, which is not sport, the first one is not sport, then the questions will be raised. But it is one of the loopholes in the law that we are trying to work on. So the law is being reviewed actually to solve these kind of loopholes.
How quickly would we see this review done? How?
Well, it lies in the bosom of the Honorable Minister for the Interior. Maybe today he may give us an outline, but it lies in his bosom. So I can't actually say. We are reading that it is done, and I'm sure it means well. So in the right time and at the right time, I'm sure it will be done.
Right. Well, Carl, we're grateful for your time this morning. We look forward to the minister's presser, and after that, we most definitely will come back to you for more conversations.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Kalsoa is the acting head of communications at the Ghana National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. All of these conversations come in the wake of the shooting incident that occurred on Sunday involving Sarah Adjasafo, former MP for Dom Kwabenya. There seems to be a huge family tussle concerning succession because Sarah Adjasafo and her siblings have lost their father, the founder of the Christo Asafo Mission, Professor Emeritus Safo Kantanka, who his death has become the center or the epicenter of this whole brouhaha that has arisen. We look forward to seeing this issue solved because the proliferation of arms in the system is one to be worried about. We want to be able to curb it, want to be able to contain it. The Small Arms Commission gave us a whole period of amnesty. The Minister for the Interior extended the period of amnesty for anybody who owned any unlicensed gun, you did not have the permission, the authority to own a gun, to submit to do that. We see private security, the Kantanka Security Services, firearms, when we know that in our laws, private security cannot own and fire arms. But what have we seen today? Had it not been a fortunate incident that occurred in the unfortunate, we could have lost the former MP, and this would have been a murder case, and it would have been worse than we are seeing it. At this point, some 9 persons have been arrested. 6 were earlier arrested on Sunday, 3 more arrested yesterday. One of them, the brother of Adjoa Safo, who is Nanakojo Akofena, who has been arrested in connection with the shooting. Like Carl said, we expect the Minister for the Interior, Muntaka Mubarak, to hold a presser today to give us some information concerning all of these. But these are issues that are worth noting, and indeed whatever decisions that will be taken will act as a blueprint for which we move ahead. Joining us for some more conversation, Richard Kumado, who is a security expert. Good morning, Richard. Thank you once again for your time.
You're welcome.
Richard, following our conversation, the Minister for the Interior has suspended the license of the Kantanka Security Services. Also, Ghana Police Service has arrested 3 more persons in connection with the shooting. Would you say that we have made some good strides with regards to this situation?
No, I think within the first 24 hours, the police did a preliminary investigation. It was based on their recommendations that the regulator, which is the Minister of Interior, took the decision. What is important is that the police have responded creditably. And we are also happy that the regulator is bold enough to effect the laws as he's supposed to. So that is where we are.
Well, Richard, again, with regards to effecting the laws and suspending the license of the Kantanka Security Services, there are those who believe that beyond suspension, we should outright cancel their license. Will we be stretching ourselves too much with regards to that?
No, I think the administrative side of things is what has come up into the media. The prosecution side is what will be taking place in court. And within the 2 spaces, it could be that once the infractions are many, they may be asking for closure, and the directors or the managers will not be allowed to manage any security company in this country, or that particular company would have been closed forever. So they still have those options. But what is important is that to satisfy the public, because this issue has public interest, the administrative side of investigations has been done as quickly as possible. And either today or tomorrow, they might be heading to court to start a prosecution against the offenders.
And to satisfy the public, do you believe that the regulator has done a yeoman's job?
Now, I think I just said earlier that the police did investigation, they make a recommendation, and we are glad that the regulator is bold enough to go by the recommendations of the Ghana Police Service by effecting the statement and the laws as it's supposed to.
Well, Richard, according to our laws, when we've come to appreciate that private security cannot own firearms, in the event where private security believes that it wants to own 1 or 2 firearms for the work it is doing, does the law give permission?
Not that they believe, they don't believe in it, We all operate within rules and regulations.
Okay, but where they would want to own some firearms, will the law...
So you apply.
Okay.
You apply, but strictly speaking, the law currently prohibits them from owning firearms.
With what happened on Sunday and the ripple effect that we have seen up until now, would you say that we have seen a breakdown in the enforcement of our laws?
No, not at all. If we are talking about the issue of guns in the hands of illegitimate people, yes. If we are talking about unregistered guns within the system, in the fact that we did gun amnesty program recently, yes. If we are talking about private security officers misbehaving, dressing like police officers and military and flouting the law on dressing and not being compliant, yes. And I think we have enough room to deal with it as quickly as possible as this case shows up.
Well, later on today, the Minister for the Interior would be addressing the public on the situation and the way forward. Richard, as a security expert, what would be your expectations?
No, what he's doing predominantly is to talk about the gun amnesty program. And I believe the ABENA issue will feature. But the scheduled press conference was in relation with the gun amnesty program.
Well, okay, but with where we have gotten up until now, any decision that would be taking, again, would look like a good roadmap for which we would follow. And again, as a security expert, what are some reforms that you would be looking at the regulator enforcing to ensure that our system is safer than it is?
Streamline the process on the uniform for private security officers. Those who flout the law, let them be sanctioned as quickly as possible. Then we're also looking at gun registration. Who owns a gun, how and where and when the guns can be used. And when they flout the laws, what should be the appropriate sanctions?
Okay. What should be the appropriate sanctions? Richard, won't you be mindful to...
has been put on hold.
Richard Kumado, the security expert whom we are speaking with at this point. We lost Richard on the line. If we do establish contact with him again, we'll ask him a few more questions before we move on to other conversations. But at this point, this is the update on the matter of the shooting involving Sarah Adjwasa, former MP for Dom Kwa Benya, whom, because of that incident happened, some 9... Yes, Richard, thank you for joining us again. I was saying that, I mean, as a security expert, when you look at, you talk about some of the things that we put in place, wouldn't you want to shed some light on what you believe should be put in place with regards to that?
Let's wait for the minister to finish the press conference and we'll take it from there.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for your time this morning. Richard Kumado is a security expert. He joined us for the conversation earlier. Carl Nianyete Soa, acting head of communications for the Ghana National Small Arms Commission and Light Weapons, was also speaking with us on the matter. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll turn attention to more conversations, especially on our utility. PURC has released a statement. They say that effective June 1, our tariffs will go up. Are we ready for higher tariffs? Are we ready to pay some more? Well, we'll see about that. Stay with us here, ABC in the morning.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocolate. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African Star of the Week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just heat, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
Some things never change when it comes to feeding your family. You choose what you trust. For generations, Gino has delivered the same dependable quality every time. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved. Some things never change when it comes to feeding your family. You choose what you trust. For generations, Gino has delivered the same dependable quality every time. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
You're welcome back, ABC in the morning live here on ABC News GH. And I remind you, today, the Black Stars lock horns with the Three Lions of England in our second group game of the 2026 World Cup, which is ongoing. And so at some point during the show, I will be opening the phone line so that you can call me. Prepare to call me and let's share thoughts on 024-725-7224, 024-725-7224. Alternatively, you can leave a comment under our stream on Facebook and on YouTube, and I'd love so much to receive them and read them to everybody's hearing. I'd love to hear from you concerning the Black Stars of Ghana. What is it going to be? What are our fortunes going to be like? But before I get to them, listen to you, let's continue with our stories here on ABC in the morning. This is a new one coming from the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, the PURC. This is their latest, the 2026 third quarter tariff review decision for electricity and water. It's dated 22nd June 2026. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission wishes to inform consumers of electricity and water that the existing electricity and water tariffs have been reviewed upwards by 3.49% and 0.85% respectively, effective July 1, 2026. These adjustments have been carried out in line with the Commission's mandate to review tariffs on a quarterly basis to reflect developments within the quarter. The quarterly reviews track and incorporate movements in key operational factors which are beyond the control of the utility service providers but key in operating the services offered. These operational factors are the exchange rate between the Ghana cedi and the United States dollar, domestic inflation rate, electricity generation mix, and the cost of fuel, mainly natural gas, to power the thermal plants. These quarterly adjustments are undertaken by the Commission to maintain the real value of the existing tariffs, which would enable the utility service providers to remain financially viable and to deliver on their services to consumers, while bearing in mind the impact of these tariffs on the well-being of consumers in general. Factors under consideration. The Commission in its analysis considered the following: Ghana cedi US dollar exchange rate. The Commission applied a weighted average Ghana cedi US dollar exchange rate of 11.2228 Ghana cedi to $1 US dollar for the third quarter of 2026. This projected exchange rate is based on a 3-month actual interbank average Ghana cedi US dollar selling exchange rates for the period April 1, 2026 to June 19, 2026. This indicates a 0.2% depreciation of the Ghana cedi from the second quarter rate of 11.1931 Ghana cedi to 1.000 US dollar. Inflation rate. The Commission also applied a 3-month April 1, 2026 to June 19, 2026 average inflation rate of 3.43% for the third quarter of 2026, indicating a downward review of 17.74% from the previous quarter's rate of 4.17%. Price of natural gas. The Commission applied a weighted average cost of gas, WACOG, price of 7.9708 US dollar per MMBTU, indicating a downward adjustment of 1.58% from the previous quarter's 8.0988 US dollar per MMBTU. Electricity generation mix, hydrothermal mix. The projected hydrothermal generation mix for the quarter under review remained the same at 20.90% from hydro generation and 79.10% from thermal generation as applied in the second quarter. And this is what the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission says that we should be expecting. They say that this is what we should be expecting with regards to our water and electricity cost. It is up, and so let us pay attention to that. Is this in the right direction? Well, they have given their reasons, but as a regular Ghanaian, yourself and myself, are we ready to pay an upward adjustment? We would see if we are. 3.49% and 0.85%. For electricity, it is 3.49%. For water, it is 0.8%. So calculate that and see how much you are paying on that. You will see how much we are paying on this upward adjustment that is coming from PURC. They say it is the latest for the third quarter. It is the third quarter review that we are experiencing with regards to electricity and water. With regards to electricity and water. So that is for our information. Electricity is up by 3.49%. Water 0.8985%. Beg your pardon, 0.85%. And so if the cost was 10 cedis for electricity, the base, you calculate 3.49%, you add it, and then you know how much you're going to pay. For water, you calculate 0.85%, you add it, and you know how much you are going to pay. Utilities, we know that when utilities also go up, there are certain commodities that go up. when utilities go up, certain commodities go up, those who use electricity a lot in the running of their business will tell us that, well, they brave for light, won't pay P for Kanye. Well, we have to increase. Imagine you're buying ice block, your business relies on ice block, and the cost of electricity has gone up. I'm sure if one ice block was costing 5 cedi, maybe you'll be selling it for 5 cedi, 50 pesos, won't you? If you're buying a chilled drink for about 6 cedis, maybe they'll sell it for 7 cedis. But we are hoping that our business people don't increase the cost. We hope. We pray they don't increase the cost. But all of these things play a role in seeing the small adjustments we see in the cost of the things that we buy. People operate cold stores, selling chicken, fish, whatever produce or products are in their cold stores. If they increase it, maybe a kilo of chicken was 35 cedis, you go and they say 35.50 cedis. Are you going to buy it? Yes, you would have to. Water, those who produce water, especially the pure water companies as we call them, you're going to pay higher for the water that they will be producing for us, and also the electricity that they use to filter the water and bag the water for us. Are we going to see any adjustments there? We will see about that, but at this point, this is what we know. 3.4, 3.49 and 0.85. 3.49 for electricity, 0.85 for water. This is what the PURC is telling us at this point in time. The PURC tells us that this is how much we are going to spend on electricity and on water. Is this something you are willing to pay? Is this something you receive in good faith, seeing as it will also help in the provision of good services to us? Is this something that you are okay with? Well, when I open the phone lines, I would like to hear from you on this matter to PURC and also the Black Stars and all other conversations that we're actually having today on the show. But yes, if you did not know, this morning I have brought it to your attention that PURC says that 3.49 for electricity, 0.85 for water. Let me take a quick break. When I return, I'll bring you some more conversations, and I promise you today that I'll open the phone lines for an extended time where you can call and share your thoughts with me on all of the conversations, but most especially on the Black Stars of Ghana, for which we have worn our jerseys today. Today too, I must say, before I even go on the break, I must commend you. On my way, I saw quite a number of people in their jerseys, and that was like quite early in the morning. I do not know how it's looking right now outside there. But yes, let's continue to support the Black Stars to victory. We go against England. Let's not be shaken. I believe that we will be victorious. After the break, I bring you more here on ABC in the morning. Stay with us.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just heats, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
So you never took one, major advocate. Yes, why is so by your advocate? You never took one, not for a media.
Do you need a media house to shoot quality TV ad for your company or products? Bring your company's vision to life.
And then come from media house we are now. Potential films. So it must don't worry. So we put you a question through advert contact woman.
We help businesses build their brands.
Quality
reach their target audience and ultimately drive sales and revenue growth.
Perfect. Contact me about good script about your product. Sound, jet. They'll give you quality pictures. How do you see it? How do you feel it? Wow. So picture now on Makasa. First number 0541 16 28 28. I'm repeating 0541 16 28 28. Call them. Number one,
Potential Films. We believe in quality.
Welcome back, ABC in the morning, live here on ABC News GH. Let's turn our attention to our education sector and read some statements coming from the Ghana Education Service on the ban of extravagant celebrations in our senior high schools when they complete the WASI. Ministry of Education has also banned graduation ceremonies. What is this about? Let me read some statements from these outfits and we'll have conversations on the matter. This is by the Ghana Education Services dated 19th June 2026. For immediate release, ban on post-examination flamboyant celebrations on school premises. Management of the Ghana Education Service has observed with concern an emerging trend of parents and guardians engaging in flamboyant celebration of their children's completion of senior high school. Such opulent displays are characterized by the presentation of expensive gifts such as motor vehicles and money bouquet to their children or wards on school premises. While management is not against the practice of parents and guardians celebrating achievement of their children or wards, management is against the practice of such ostentatious displays by parents on school premises. In order to ensure that this practice does not gain roots in the school culture, management wishes to inform the general public that henceforth post-examination celebrations that are characterized by lavish presentation of items such as motor vehicles to students are prohibited on school premises. Heads of schools who allow this practice on their campus will be sanctioned. Schools are designed to promote social equalizers where merit and personal effort take priority over economic status. Ostentatious displays of wealth by parents on school premises creates visible socio-economic divisions, shifts the focus from academic achievement to financial privilege, and can foster psychological distress among students whose parents are not able to compete in such flamboyant celebrations. Management counts on the usual cooperation of parents, guardians, and other stakeholders, and it is signed Daniel Fenny, Head of Public Relations for the Ghana Education Service. Also, the Ministry of Education released the statement on celebrations in our schools, post-WASI celebrations. Let me read that for you. It is dated 20th June 2026. Also for immediate release, Ministry of Education orders suspension of post-WASI celebrations amid concerns over excessive displays of wealth. The Ministry of Education has taken note of growing public concerns regarding the increasing trend of excessive display of wealth and flamboyance during post-WASI celebrations in some senior high schools across the country. The ministry wishes to emphasize that schools are institutions for learning, character development, discipline, and the nurturing of responsible citizens. Post-WASI events are intended to celebrate academic achievements and personal growth and should therefore reflect the values of modesty, dignity, and respect associated with the educational environment. The ministry strongly condemns any conduct by students, parents, guardians, or other stakeholders that promotes extravagance and detracts from the true purpose of school ceremonies. Consequently, the Honorable Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, has directed the Director General of the Ghana Education Service to suspend all senior high school post-WASI events nationwide with immediate effect. The ministry remains committed to ensuring that all school activities uphold the highest standards of discipline, responsibility, and moral development in line with the objectives of Ghana's education system. And it is signed Hashmi Mohammed, Press Secretary to the Honorable Minister for Education. These are two statements from GES and Ministry of Education, two stakeholders, duty bearers when it comes to our education sector in the country. And this time, these statements refer to what has been happening in our various second cycle institutions, or our SHSs. They say that, you know what, we ban it. We are stopping it now before it becomes what we cannot handle. All the flamboyance, all the extravagance, it ends now. You know, I know parents are excited. Parents are happy. Your child has been in school for 3 years, 3 solid years, learning. And on the final day of WASI, we believe that during the WASI, your child is now transitioning from childhood or adolescence into adulthood. Most of them 18, 19 years, they become adults. And so, why not buy them a car? Something to usher them into adulthood. Very soon, they go to the universities, they can drive their cars to school. And so beautiful. We surprise them at school with these cars, with these flamboyant celebrations. You know, GSS, it's enough. Let's stop it here. The fingers are not equal. Not all parents can do the same. We do not want to breed a culture where people start wishing, hey, so why couldn't my parent do this for me? Look at Akosie's mother and father. Look at Kojo's mother and father. All of these concerns, GSS is enough. It will not happen anymore. Ghana Ministry of Education also says it is enough. Post-examination celebrations are over. But we also know that there have been graduation ceremonies in our school. Doesn't mean graduation ceremonies will also not be held. Well, we'll see. Let's have some conversation. Kwabena Boama is the Director of Strategy and Operations for Lead for Ghana. He joins us. Good morning, Kwabena. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
These statements from the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education, Kwabena, how do you receive it? How do you receive them?
I think it's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing about celebrations. I mean, there's an argument that can be made for the fact that parents can show love to their kids any way that they see fit. But there's a culture that has to be maintained, right? Schools are controlled environments for a reason. There's a reason why we all take our kids to a certain establishment for them to train our the students, and so that there has to be some kind of a culture that is maintained, a culture that is safe for these students, a culture which tries to maintain some sense of equality among all students. There's a reason why GES asks that students wear uniforms. In other countries, students can wear anything that they want, right? But in Ghana, there's a reason why students wear the same uniform. There's a reason why in boarding schools they eat the same food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to try and maintain some sense of equality, right? Because these are children that are still trying to build some sense of maturity, right? So once parents begin to flaunt wealth really lavishly, buy cars, give money bouquets and stuff, it disrupts the culture, right? It disrupts the culture really significantly. I'm not against parents trying to show off, but if you're showing off, maybe you create a different, you create that experience in a different setting, but not in a school setting, right? That's how I feel really about it. Because, yeah, it's a culture just.
The argument is that these are candidates who have just completed their WASI. They are going home and they're not going to remain in the school after WASI. Maximum 3 days, many of the students leave after their last paper. And so if my parents comes to school, brings me a beautiful car that is my post-WASI present, brings me a money bouquet, my first amount of money to put in, maybe my first adult account, or something which we would call ostentatious or extravagant, I'm not staying in the school with it. My parents have come to the school, it means they are taking me home. How does it affect another person? And even if it will affect another person, it is going to affect them outside of the school. How do you marry all of these?
Again, once they are in the school premises, it's still part of the school. Like it's still within the school's scope or the school's responsibility, right? If they're coming to pick your child from the school, first of all, yes, they are done with their WASI. They haven't graduated yet. The school hasn't created any graduation ceremony of any sort. They have just finished a paper, and they are coming to pick them from the school. So if you want to give your child a car, maybe you can have that party. Ask some of the students to show up at your house, and then you can do all of that for them. But other people's kids are also in the school at that particular point in time, right? And some parents may not be open to these extravagances being displayed in front of their own children. So it's better that still, while you are in a controlled environment such as a school, you are very measured, or GS has a very clear stance on what you can show to other people's children and what you cannot show. Because once they bring the car into the school, if I don't want to see it, I have no option. I will be seeing it, right? Even though I really don't want to be seeing some of these things, because I have trusted the school with my upbringing, and the school has allowed this into the environment, I have no choice but to witness such things, and it can affect a child's psyche, right?
Right. We do appreciate that. There are also those who make the argument that parents could wait for after the WASI results have been released before they buy all of these beautiful, flashy things for their children.
Yeah. Some people may say that you have to wait till the WASI results are released. Yes, maybe if the child actually does well, then the child is rewarded. But I think that's also that's actually neither here nor there, because the parent decides, okay, the fact that my child has actually completed 4 years or 3 years of school, this is the reason why I'm giving my child this. As to how I want to reward my child or what time I want to reward my child, that's up to me, right? But in terms of the setting, the place I want to reward my child, that's not entirely up to you, right? I can say that, okay, based on the circumstances, the personal circumstances that my child has gone through in senior high school, I'm just going to reward the child because they have completed, not because they passed. That's entirely up to you, the parent. But as to where you do that, it's certainly not on the school's premises. And I'm really happy that GES made a stance on that, because again, the school is a controlled environment.
Well, the Ministry of Education says post-exam events have also been banned or cancelled. There are many schools that hold graduation ceremonies for their students who have completed the WASI. Are we to appreciate that graduation ceremonies also are on hold?
Please come again with the question.
So in the Ministry of Education statement, and let me read just that small portion for you. It talks about post-exam events that have also been put on hold. So it says that the ministry wishes to emphasize that schools are institutions for learning, character development, discipline, and the nurturing of responsible citizens. Post-WASI events are intended to celebrate academic achievement and personal growth, and should therefore reflect the values of modesty, dignity, and the respect associated with the education environment. So when it tells us that it is ordering the suspension of these post-WASI celebrations, we want to appreciate, is it just what the parents are doing, or the graduation ceremonies that have become synonymous with some schools is what GES is also putting on hold?
I think maybe that's something that I might have to contact a few of my colleagues at GES to really understand what exactly that meant. But yes, I feel like that certainly applies to what parents do within school settings to celebrate their children, but also the school institution itself. If you're going to have a graduation, maybe you put it on hold till after results are out, and then you can graduate these students. Because I don't see how you graduate someone simply for completing an exam when you haven't seen the results. They might have to come back and write the paper again. But again, I'm not so sure. I might have to refer to some of my colleagues at the GES and the ministry.
Right. This whole ostentatious display of wealth has raised some concerns. There's a debate that the whole story of free SHS must be re-looked at, because those who said that free SHS should be tailored to those who really need it should have been followed, because parents whose children have benefited from free SHS should not be able to buy cars for their children. And so if you are buying a car for your child, you're bringing a money bouquet, you are bringing them whatever flamboyant gift. It means that your child should have paid school fees. And so we need to re-look at the whole idea of free SHS. Are we grounded in that?
I think I have always held the notion that free SHS would be, it's a good thing, right? Because education is the ultimate equalizer in a society, and so every child deserves education, quality education, full stop. And so with that sort of like an understanding, free SHS is certainly the right path to follow. However, looking at the country's economic stance, can we afford it? If we cannot afford it, then maybe how about we graduate this whole free SHS thing, which means we have a framework which determines who pays and who doesn't. But ultimately, the goal should be for every citizen in the country to have access to education for free, right? So I totally believe in free SHS, but maybe for now, is there a way that we can graduate it? If there is proof that we're not able to afford it, or if there's proof that it's not sustainable, then how do we graduate it bit by bit to ensure that maybe for now some people are paying and then some people are not? And if some people are paying, what status are we ascribing to those people who are paying? And how do we determine whether someone can pay and when someone cannot pay? Right? Yeah. So that's my stance.
Well, now one crop of students have completed school, or a batch, like we would call it, has completed school. We look forward to having some new crop also join school. As lead for Ghana and the role you play in the education sector, what are your expectations for our senior high schools or our second cycle institutions to provide better education to our students?
Please come again with the question.
What are your expectations from our stakeholders when it comes to providing the best of education to our students in our second cycle institutions?
I think education, again, the government has done incredible work when it comes to access to education, meaning every child now can walk into a school, sign up, and then start education. And even for the basic level, it's compulsory. So kudos to the government on that. But now the issue is about quality. And when we talk about quality, we're talking about pedagogy. How are teachers being taught? How are students also being taught, right, in the classroom? So we look at our pre-service training. Do teachers have everything that they need to be able to stand in front of their students confidently and deliver the quality lessons? I feel like the teacher professional development bit is one of the really instrumental aspects of our education system that we have to look at. Yes, teachers are receiving some level of professional development, but maybe that needs to be really looked at. Again, we have to review pre-service training a lot more. And this goes without saying that when you really look at the teacher training space, it appears that those that did not perform well in senior high schools are the ones that are entering into teacher training, right? And that's a problem. And it's not just for the education space, but even for the health space. People develop interest once they feel like, okay, I can't make it into the university, so I will then go to a teacher training college. It feels like an afterthought. It feels like a second option. But what that's creating is you're creating a space where someone without the passion for teaching is going to be teaching your kid, and that person is going to be determining the future of the country for the next 20, 30 years, right? So those are some of the areas that we have to maybe look at, review properly in the education space to ensure that quality delivery is happening in the classroom.
Well, since I have you here with me, Kobna, let me pick your thoughts on the unfortunate video that surfaced containing or involving the teacher of Boyle Senior High School and one of his students. There's a lot of debate in the space also, especially on social media, about the teacher and the student. One that borders on consent. Are teachers becoming predators on our female students and even some male students?
I lost the last part of the question.
I was asking if teachers are becoming predators on students in school.
So I guess you're asking the question around consent and
yes, and the teachers and how they conduct themselves around students in school, especially the female students.
Yes, I think that's a very sensitive topic because first of all, as a teacher, you are in a position of authority, right? And that imbalance of power between a teacher and a student, no matter how old the student is, essentially means that even if a student gives you consent, and maybe here it will be good to have a lawyer look into it, but even if a student gives consent, by virtue of the level of the power that you have over the student, that shouldn't count, and you have to be able to conduct yourself properly. You have to be able to keep your hands off any female students. I see on social media that people say, oh, the way the girls are behaving in secondary schools is leading teachers on and all of that. Yes, it could very well be the case. However, you as a teacher, there are certain codes of conduct that you have signed against in your contract. These are things that you're going to go by. So under no circumstances should you even think about engaging with the students in any way inappropriate, right? Again, you are in a position of authority. So even if the child gives you consent, even if it's an 18-year-old that gives you consent, it doesn't count. You have to conduct yourself properly, right, and appropriately. So with what's happening with the students and the teacher, certainly the teacher takes majority of the blame, if not all, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing what GES does about this issue. But leave for Ghana and your very much interest in education in the country, especially from the very basic level. One thing that shows itself up very, very strongly is the fact that students are suffering silently under some of the actions of some of our teachers. And so even before GES as a body comes into it, from the very bottom of it, school authorities playing a significant role. We tell students to report to authority, but how sure are they that authority will pick it up? And so from the very basic role, how should we also empower our students to know to stand against some of these wiles of some of the teachers?
Okay, so if I'm getting you correctly, sorry I keep repeating this because the sound is a bit muffled.
That's fine.
If I get you correctly, you want to know how students can maybe have a voice around some of these things.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there are student unions around in schools. I feel like schools certainly encourage the creation of student bodies like the SRCs at the senior high level and at the university level to have a voice. And I think for like in the past 3-4 years, there's been the creation of in the secondary schools as part of a funded program, the LIT program, which is part of the secondary school reform program. There's this whole elevating youth voices that is happening. The idea is to first of all build a sense of awareness, a sense of confidence, and then also as like a voice for the student body. And I believe that's actually running, that's been running for the past year, and it's been doing quite well, just so that students know exactly what their voice is capable of achieving and how they can apply a bit of agency to some of the things that they believe in. And maybe let's give it a couple of years, but I feel like students are being given that space. Now the thing is, how do we empower them to see how far their voice can go? And I feel like that's something that the school bodies can encourage, continue to encourage them to do. But yeah.
Right. Kobna, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you too. Take care.
All right. Kobna Boama is the Director for Strategy and Operations at Lead for Ghana. We've been having conversation about GES banning ostentatious celebrations in our senior high schools. The Ministry of Education has also weighed in on that, directed the GES to indeed ban these celebrations. And we did some quick conversation on the unfortunate incident that occurred in Bole Senior High School. After this very quick break, it's time for sports. It's time for the Black Stars of Ghana. We go head to head with the Three Lions of England. Who is it going to be? Obviously, it's going to be the Black Stars of Ghana. The Black Stars of Ghana, straight to the top. I'll come back. We'll have conversation on it. I'll open the phone lines. Let me hear from you. 024-725-7224. 024-725-7224. Let's talk Black Stars. Let's talk Ghana. Let's talk World Cup. Let's talk 3 points to be at top of our group. After the break, stay with me.
Second, so you never to point advert. Yes, why so by advert you to point na media.
Do you need a media house to shoot quality TV ad for your company or product? Bring your company's vision to life.
And you come from media house we are now potential films. So So don't worry. So we put you a question 200 year contact woman.
We help businesses build their brands.
Quality
reach their target audience and ultimately drive sales and revenue growth.
Perfect. Contact a good script about your product. Sound, jet. They'll give you quality pictures. How do you see it? How do you feel it? Wow. So picture now on Makasa. First number 0541 16 28 28. I'm repeat 0541 16 28 28. Call them. Number one,
Potential Films. We believe in quality.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back, ABC and the Morning Live on ABC News GH. It's now time to talk Ghana, talk Black Stars, talk 2026 World Cup. And Ghana, what would our faith be against the Three Lions of England? There are many people who are optimistic. There are others who say that let us be measured in our optimism. It's not going to be an easy fight at all. We'll be lucky to end in a draw. But is it a draw you are looking for? Well, you can call me 024-725-7224, 024-725-7224 and share your thoughts with me. Give me your predictions for the Ghana-England match. Ghana-Panama ended in 1-0. That goal by Caleb Urenchi saw Ghana grab all maximum 3 points in our first match. It was not an easy match. That match looked like we were going to lose, but at the end of the day, in the dying embers of the game, the Black Stars showed up and showed off, and we have the 3 points. We need another 3 points. If we grab 3 points today against England, it means automatic sailing to the round of 32. Others say that, you know what, let's be measured, grab at least a point from England where we draw with them, grab 4 points, and look forward to drawing with Croatia and grab another 1 point, add it, get 5 points and sail through. But if we are able to seal the bag today, what is the last match against Croatia? We can relax and save our energies for our next match against whatever team we'll be paired with in the round of 32. What is it going to be? Call me, send your predictions. I'll be so glad to hear from you on the Black Stars match. What are my predictions for the match? 1 goal project. 1-0. Let's see. I am hoping we'll get 1-0, but the more goals the merrier, the more goals the better. If we can get 2 goals, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it be? And I don't think that it is beyond Ghana to grab 3 points. It's beyond Ghana to score 2 goals or even more against England. A lot of heartbreaks here and there, but I don't believe that we would be heartbroken. Joining us is sports journalist James Ohimba Makion to join us on the conversation. Makion, good morning and thank you for the time.
ABENA, good morning.
Dan, I'm doing well. I see you are clad in your Ghana colors. It means that, Makion, you have hope for the future today.
As Ghanaians, we need to support our team. We are at war today, so we need to put on our fighting regardless and go to against them.
Well, Makion, you have to say it well. We need to, or we are supporting. Look, like it's Ghana, so what can we do? Let's just wait. Is that what it is?
Oh, we are Ghana. We are Ghana. So yeah. There is that hope.
Really? What is it looking like for us? 8 p.m. would meet England, the Blue Lions, under the management of Thomas Tuchel, who is doing amazing with the team. We also have Carlos Queiroz as our coach. What is it looking like for the Black Stars?
Yeah, so in the first round of games, England beat Croatia by 4 goals to 2. Whilst we beat Panama, it was another win for us. We scored in the dying minutes of the game. Calibrated scored. That means that in Group L, England are leading the table with 3 points. Ghana second with 3 points. If it is anything to go by, we are the 2 best nations in our group as we speak. And as the 2 best nations are meeting tonight, a win for any of these 2 sides will obviously qualify the country who will get the 3 points to the next round of the competition. That was the round of 32. That tells you how important this particular clash is. Again, if you look at the historical antecedents of this particular game, there's colonial masters versus slaves in quotes. Again, the last time that the 2 sides met, we met in Wembley, where that game ended in a draw as an individual scoring in the dying minutes of the game to secure that point against us. And if you speak to people who are in England, they will tell you that that particular goal that Ghana were able to get in that particular frame, they're still in the minds of the English people, and they are very keen on beating us, especially at the world stage. If you have listened to Carlos Queiroz, who is the head coach for the Black Stars, yesterday in his press conference, he did mention that England are known as the Blue Lions. But if you come to Ghana, we have about more than 33 million lions in Ghana. So that tells you the sort of mind games that these coaches are sending to the game. This morning, I challenged on Thomas Tuchel's press conference. He also did mention that he has said what Carlos has said, but it is sad for Ghana because they are also highly motivated going to this club. So these comments from these 2 managers is just telling us how poised, how ready, how prepared these 2 nations are ready for the clash. Thomas did admit that Ghana is a very good team, especially when it comes to the global stage in terms of the World Cup. Declan Rice also did mention that the team have watched about the last 3 games of the Blasters and they are ready for them. We also did admit that there are some good players that can have the likes of Thomas Partey, who we played with at Arsenal, has played against Antoine Semenyo at Bournemouth and Manchester City and other players who are in the Blasters team. So both managers are poised and ready to get at least a point or even maximum all the 3 points to qualify into the next round of competition. Remember that Panama and Croatia will also meet right after the Ghana game, and whoever gets that win in that game, depending on our results, it might make the group very open and going to the last round of matches. It will be an interesting one.
Thomas Partey would have his turn today against England. He is at the center of controversy. We already know that England is not too excited about him in our game. Conversations or concerns about shaking his hand and all. Today, we can't expect that the mental games, the mental gymnastics are going to be a lot from players, from management, also from the stands. Do you think Thomas Partey is ready to meet England, go against England, and maybe even get us a goal?
So before I joined you, I was having a conversation with a friend. The friend believes that Thomas shouldn't start this game because he thinks that psychologically it will affect him. He believes that it even affected him in the Wales game where he was substituted in the first half in Calgary. So there are people who have that choice. But for me, I think that Thomas is a professional, and he has gone through more things or more tougher situations. Let me educate our viewers a bit. When the rape charges started coming up in England, when Thomas was playing for Arsenal in England, the day he was arrested, sent to the police station. That was the season that Thomas had his best ever season for Arsenal. That was the season where Arsenal fans were calling his name, were singing songs for him. During that period, the rape charges had come. He had been arrested. He was almost reporting to the police station every 2 weeks. And that was the season that Thomas gave his best ever performance, even in terms of club football, and even for Arsenal. And so we've been through a lot of these challenges when it comes to playing football. So I think for the Ghanaians here, a lot of conversation have been about Thomas Partey, whether he is psychologically fit to play in that particular game. Yesterday, during the post-match training sessions, there was a media session for journalists who were at their training grounds. Thomas was one of the players to speak, and he said he's okay. Sometimes these things happen in football, but he's okay and he's ready to play for the Blasters of Ghana. A lot of people even believe that if Thomas had started that game against Panama, in terms of going for it, in terms of creating chances for us to score, someone would have created a lot of chances, because there were scenarios where a lot of people were celebrating that Thomas would be the one in that particular position to create those chances. So yes, we are all talking about whether you be mentally fit, but I'm saying that he's been through that situation before, and if not for anything, the last time that he was in such situation, when the problem started coming, it was the period he played his best ever football. So yes, I understand if people say that he's not psychologically fit. I agree with people who say that in terms of his performance against Wales, he shouldn't start against England today. Then I agree with those people. But if it is only psychological, then I think that Thomas will be able to go beyond that and play. And again, as I said, these are professional footballers, and they are team psychologists in there. They have the mental fortitude. Even for the management of the team, the technical team, I know they will encourage him. That is, if the coach wants to start him, I know they will encourage him to put up his best against England. And even from the supporters and fans, they'll be very happy to see him start. But again, I think we should, as a nation, we should think deeply through this one. Are we just throwing into the dogs? If he makes a mistake in that particular game, gives a back pass, and England uses that advantage to score us, will we berate him, will we insult him, or will we continue to support him? I think that's what the conversation should be about.
Now, what squad, Michael, do you believe will use to face England, or would Carlos Queiroz put together to face England today as starting 11? There are those who say that Jordan should start from the bench and not as part of the starting 11. What do you make of that?
Yeah, so there's a very interesting aspect of our game that will be played tonight. So far, we've seen Carlos to be a coach who plays more counter-attacking football. Even against Panama, he decided to sit back, be patient, get his chance, and then utilize his chance on the counter-attacking and score. We saw a lot of those sequences in that game against Panama. Even the goal that we scored was a counter-attacking situation. But this is England. England will come blazing, will come all out, and normally those in football will tell you that every game and the strategy that is used in that game. So for me, obviously, Lawrence Atizigi is a doubt for this game, so we are going to see Benjamin Asari in this game. If Benjamin Asari starts, then he become the first ever player in the Ghana Premier League to start a World Cup game, or the first ever goalkeeper in the Ghana Premier League to start a World Cup game. That will become some sort of record. So obviously Benjamin Asari is starting. So right back, I think we should go with Marvin Semeya. He's been exceptional in his 2 games that he has played for Ghana. At the left back position, obviously Gideon Mensah is going to start. Then in the centre back position, I think the partnership between Jonas Adite and Jeremy Kofa has been exceptional. In the last 2 games we played against Wales and also against Panama, a lot of people are giving them praises. Now the issue is with the midfield, and we've already discussed that of Thomas Partey. Is the coach going to give him the starting bet to prove himself, or we are going to maintain the issue? And I think that we need to think deeply to that particular decision. I think that if the decision to start Partey or not can affect us, it can backfire in that particular game. But then again, you have to look at the experience of Thomas Partey in big games, the experience that he has had. In that midfield, there is Declan Rice, there is Bellingham. He has played against them several times. There's Elliot Anderson. He has played against them in the English Premier League before. He knows these boys. He knows how they think and everything. So I think that I will still go for Thomas Partey in that particular midfield. I'll pair him with Caleb Ritchie. Then up front, that is where the issue is. I've seen a lot of people saying that we should start Brandon Thomas Asante in that game. Yes, when he came in that game against Panama, he did so well. He was exceptional in that particular game. But I know Thomas Asante to be a player who does so well, especially when he starts from the bench. And from all the games, about 6 games or 7 games that he has played for the Black Stars, whenever he comes for the bench, that's where we see his impact. Whenever he starts games, we are not really seeing his impact. So yes, in as much as I would love Thomas Asante to start, I like him to be on the bench, and then we can effect changes quickly in the game for him to start in the at the right hand side of the pitch. Honestly, I started that game against Panama. It was very tough for me. I think that I've stuck Pata Wishapi at the right wing. At the left wing, I'll go with Christopher Balbinchi. We need explosive wingers against England if you are to go on a counter attack. In that game against Panama, it was Kamaldeen Suleiman that started. We all know Kamaldeen as a very good dribbler. He drives the ball forward very well. But the issue is his end product. When it's market news, he doesn't live up to the expectations. So I'll go with Christopher Balbinchi. Then at the attacking department, there is Prince Ebu Kwabena, there is Thomas Asante, there is Jordan Ayew up front. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk about Jordan Ayew shouldn't start in that particular game, but statistically, if you go into that England game, in that Panama game that we played, in terms of pressing, high pressing and recovering balls for Ghana, Jordan Ayew, interestingly, had the highest number of any Ghanaian player in terms of pressing, recovering the football. And if you look at the system that Carlos plays, there is an important element of the counter-attacking football. You need players who press and recover the ball. So in that element, I think Jordan ticks that box. But in terms of counter-attacking, whilst you're on a break, whilst you're in a transition, I think that Jordan overdid it in that game against Panama. So if Carlos can talk to Jordan to improve that part of his game, then if you only listen, then I think I'll go with Jordan up front. Because Jordan is also very experienced. He has played in the English Premier League for more than 8 seasons. Played at Swansea, played at Aston Villa, played at Leicester City. And in as much as people complain that he is not doing well in the Blasters yet, whenever a new coach comes in, even at the club side, they always start with Jordan. And that tells you that he has some quality that coaches love in there. He's able to draw tactical pass in there. So my only issue with Jordan is that when we're on a transition, trying to attack and score a goal, he delays our attack. That's the only issue I have with Jordan. But in terms of pressing, receiving balls, and ensuring that you have tactical pass at good places, I think I'll go with Jordan. But then I'll go with his experience. I like the fact that for Carlos, if you don't perform in the first half, quickly in the second half, you substitute your game. So I'll go with Jordan up front. At the left now, I'll go with Christopher Babuchi. At the right, I'll go with Fatao. Fatao is out. In the middle, I think I'll go with Antoine Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo can interchange with Jordan. And then in the midfield, Callum and Thomas. Then you maintain our back four together with Mazen Asari.
Matthew, will we see some entertaining football this evening?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Even against Panama, which we thought that we see some sort of entertaining game with the dividends. At this particular World Cup, it is very difficult for countries to play entertaining football. Yesterday, look at Argentina, for instance. They won that particular game, but it was difficult for them to play that sort of entertaining football in the way that they play. Look at Spain. Look at Spain against Cape. It was very difficult for Spain to play that sort of entertaining football. I think that the only nation who has played a bit of entertaining football at this World Cup is Morocco. Yeah, it's Morocco. Even against Brazil, they try to play entertaining football. Brazil themselves, in their first game, struggle. Even in their second game, though they won, they struggle to play that entertaining football. So, at this particular point in a tournament, it's not about entertaining football. It's about how you find out the results and get the maximum results to qualify to the next round.
Okay.
So, for Ghanaians, in terms of entertaining football, let's go expectations. Carlos is not a coach who plays entertaining football. He will sit back, be patient when he gets his opportunity, catch you on the counter attack and go and score. So, in terms of entertaining football, maybe the players might show 1 or 2 skills, but I don't think we've seen entertaining football from Ghana. Maybe from England, but not from Ghana.
Finally, Makion, predictions for today, what the scoreline would look like?
We have the 3 points already against Panama. If you look at the trajectory of how the World Cup is going, if you're able to, I think countries in their groups who already have 4 points already have a leg in the round of 32. And especially for the fact that you have a last round of game against Croatia. If you're able to put up a spirited performance, you should be able to beat England. In as much as they have a quality team, they are also afraid of us. And I've already said that Panama is our most important game, but as we speak now, our most important game is against England. If you're able to beat England, the next game against Croatia will just be a match. But anyway, I think that England will live up to expectations. They have the players up on there. There is Bellingham. There's Marcus Rashford, there is Harry Kane, who is coming for the golden boot. So I predict a draw in this game. It can be a 0-0 or maybe a 1-1. Is going to the last round of games. It's good for them.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much. We look forward to 8 p.m. to see what happens, and then obviously it would also inform what would happen in our next game. But I'm looking forward to a win so that we know that we've qualified to the round of 32. We'll come back, Matthew.
I know you are running for a win. I know you are running for a win.
Well, we'll see how Thank you so much for joining us this morning. James Ohinba, Matthew, sports journalist, joining us here on the conversation. It's now time to hear your voice. Your voice matters, and it's your voice alone I would want to hear at this point. 02472572224, 02472572224. Call me, share your thoughts with me. What is it going to look like? Is the Black Stars going to win? I believe we are going to win. What are your predictions for Ghana against England? Send in your predictions and let me hear from you. Kelly has been waiting to call. He sent a message to us concerning the Black Stars. Kelly from East Legon. Kelly, your message is a long one. I would attempt to read your message. Kelly says, these are tips for the Black Stars by TikTok star Kelly from East Legon. Kelly says the Black Stars should draw valuable lessons from Cape Verde's encounter with Uruguay. It is utterly disappointing when a team fails to perform and the players appear to be crying out for their mother's support during matches, only to end up defeated and bounce back to draw. Effective team defense hinges on preventing opponents from bypassing the midfield to create scoring opportunities near the penalty spot. Failure to do so can lead to humiliation, as no amount of magic can undo the damage once a team is overrun. Even if the opponent manages only a single goal, a congested pitch can lead to an abundance of scoring chances for them. I would love to see a seasoned former Black Stars captain on the field, directing the team with the same level of expertise displayed by the coach of Atletico Madrid. Ghana has the potential to win the World Cup if the team can capitalize on its advantages without relying on external factors. Every match should be treated as the last one, given the high stakes involved. The distinction between competitions like the Premier League, Champions League, La Liga, and the World Cup should not be underestimated. The Premier League features teams composed of highly skilled players and goal scorers, whereas the World Cup often showcases teams with less polished lineups, except for the host nation. This perception of quality should not intimidate the Black Stars. Instead, they should seize the opportunity to showcase their skills and deliver a stellar performance. Finally, the tendency to score by fire by force in the final minutes of a match should be addressed, as it serves no purpose once the whistle blows. Kelly from East Legon, thank you for your comments. Kelly says that Black Stars, by fire, by force. Are we going to win? I believe that we are going to win. But this is Kelly's advice to the Black Stars. I believe that the Black Stars have heard this advice and they will take that into consideration. But it is Ghana versus England today. Let me hear your voice. Let me know what your predictions are for the match. Well, Kobe George says his predictions are 1-1. England 1, Ghana 1. Oh, you don't have faith. You don't have faith that Ghana will win. Oh, England 1, Ghana 1. All right. But Kelly has called. Kelly from East Legon, thank you for calling.
Good morning, Abena. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly. I've just read your very long message you sent to me.
Yeah, I want you to read it for 2 days.
All right, Kelly, what are your predictions?
Yeah, today there are so much flipping on your TV screen, from the flamboyant display of wealth, to teachers, relationship with students, and then the Black Stars. So I didn't really know which one to grab on, though.
Let's dwell on Black Stars. What are your predictions?
Okay, I think for the Black Star, I've sent you a message. I don't know if that.
I've read it. But if you were to give us predictions, Ghana versus England, how many goals should we expect?
Oh, last time I predicted 2-1 wins, whereby we missed almost 4 goals at the spot. So today too, let's just manage the 2-1 again.
2-1, okay, Kelly. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right.
So that's Kelly from East Legon. Kelly says that 2-1 win for Black Stars. He follows up with the message he sent. Kobe G says Ghana 1, England 1. We'll see how it goes. You two send me your predictions. Call me, share your thoughts with me. I'd love so much to hear from you. Well, away from the Black Stars, this is a comment by Teacher Kujo Tepenyunesusu. Teacher Kujo says the campaign promise of resetting the country is hardly visible. We have not seen any reset in the true meaning of the word, beg your pardon. All we have seen so far is the administration of the country as it has always been, with hardly any transformation in our ways of doing things. It's not surprising that the NDC and Mahama's popularity are dwindling across the country. Greetings to Asanteman Koka and Honorable Yarik Nanajiman Prempe MP for Hafanu North, Nanabi JFK, and Mr. Usu Bempa, then she also constituency chairman. Hopeful. Teacher Kojo, thank you for your comments. Let me go on to the phone lines. Alhaji Aminu from Medina. Alhaji, good morning. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, my dear sister. You look beautiful in the Ghana Black Star jersey.
Thank you, Alhaji. I hope you're also wearing your Ghana Black Star jersey.
No.
Oh, Alhaji, why?
I will not wear Ghana Black Star jersey.
Alhaji, why?
Yes. You see, thank you, my dear sister. My name is Alhaji Aminu Abu, calling from Medina. You see, NDC people has turned it to NDC, NPP, and they have turned it into you know, all these things, we don't need it in Ghana Black Star. Ghana Black Star stands for all of us as Ghanaians. We need to rally our support behind them to make sure that we get what we want. But you cannot call it that it's NDC. When did the President Mahama become president? The Black Stars, when did Black Stars qualify to go to World Cup? It was His Excellency Menado time. And today you are taking the win. No problem. But please, we shouldn't let it be partisan, political, and what have you. No, for Ghana, and it's representing all of us.
Okay.
If any NDC who is hearing me today, because I heard the members, some of the members of parliament of NDC, they are saying all that. Even they are saying that when we got 1 point, we scored them 1. That is 1.5 in the other side. You know what they are saying? We all know that. So please, they should let Ghana Black Star be a Ghana Black Star, so that Ghanaians, all of us, will rally behind them and make sure that Ghana Black Star has succeeded. But I have a problem.
All right, Alhaji.
This warning, I'm warning the England team. They shouldn't think that they colonize our great-grandparents. They can win our Black Star. Even though I'm not supporting, they cannot. By the grace of Almighty Allah, if all of us will rally behind Black Star and take the politics away, somebody shouldn't claim that he is the one who made them. Why? Mama is wearing number 7 or number 8. If I say is he the goalkeeper or
so Alhaji, all of us will throw politics away. Ghana is supporting Black Stars. Exactly. How many goals will Ghana score?
Oh no. We should, by the grace of God, by the grace of God, I'm predicting. By the grace of God, we are going to go. If by the grace of God, we'll give them 1-0. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Because they are colonial masters, we shouldn't disgrace them much. But they should also, they shouldn't take us for granted.
All right, Alhaji.
Yes, we are coming like Kakai.
Hey. All right, Alhaji Aminu Abu from Medina. Alhaji says we are coming like Kakai. We'll see how it goes. But today, 8 p.m., the Black Stars would wear the national colors, sing the national anthem, and represent Ghana on the world stage against England. What is it going to be? 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. Black Stars will come on top of the group with 3 points. Oh Lord, we pray for that, and we'll get 6 points and advance to the round of 32. You can call me, let me hear from you. Pick about 1 or 2 more calls and we'll be out of here. What is it going to look like for Ghana against England today on the world stage? You call me and share your thoughts. Hello, good morning.
I'm ready.
Yes, you are ready. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Nathaniel from Adabraka.
Nathaniel, thank you so much for calling. Please share your thoughts with me.
You said?
I said share your thoughts with me. What are your predictions against England today? Ghana versus England.
Predictions, Ghana 1, England 50.
Ghana 1, England how many?
50.
Oh, Nathaniel, why? What have we done to you?
Nothing. But that is the issue. That is what.
Okay. All right, Nathaniel. Thank you. Nathaniel from Adabraka says Ghana 1, England 50. And they, why? England 50. Then it means that today we did not. It would mean that we did not show up for the match. Well, we'll see how it goes today. You also called me and sent in your predictions. Let me know how many goals you think would come out of this game. Is it going to be Ghana? Is it going to be England? Or are we going to share the point apiece? You call me and share your thoughts with me. 024-725-7224. 024-725-7224. Ghana versus England tonight. Well, Kelly joins us again. Hello, Kelly.
Yes.
You want to update your prediction?
Yeah. No. I still stand on my prediction. I beg you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be 2-1 as I told you.
All right.
But please, I want to add something on what I believe you read all I sent you.
I did.
Or you read some.
Kelly, I read everything from top
because
to
there was no light here, so I didn't hear what you read. So
it's on Facebook and YouTube. We stream the when you go YouTube.
So please, I want to ask the people of Ghana, please, whenever we go out to play, this is sports, this is entertainment. We should avoid taking advantage, of other people's nation.
Okay.
We should abide by their rules. We should not go to Canada, USA, and begin to do things on our own as if it is our own land. Because, these white people, they easily detect small mistakes. But within us, we are enjoying life, or we are celebrating our culture and tradition. But within them, they might not take it light like that. So whenever we go out there, we should abide by their own regulations. We should stand by their own rules instead of breaking the rules because we want other people, to know that we are present. Please, that's just what I wanted to add. So let us comport ourselves out there and come back home as we left.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Thank you for that advice to our brothers and sisters who are out there in Canada, America, and Mexico supporting the Black Stars. That'll be all for today here on ABC in the morning. Thank you to Carl Soa. Thank you to Richard Kumado. Thank you to Kwabena Boama and James Ohimba Makion for speaking with me this morning. I have a last caller. I will indulge him. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Okay, I'm calling from Australia.
And what's your name?
My name is Jameson.
All right. What are your predictions for today's match?
Okay, today Ghana will be scoring 2.
Okay.
England.
All right.
Ghana has 1 goal.
Okay. Thank you so much for your predictions. 2-1 against England. We'll see today at 8 p.m. the Black Stars versus the 3 Lions of England. Black Stars of Ghana. Go Black Stars, go. Come on, Black Stars Ghana. We believe in you. We support you. Our support is coming to you from America and from here in Ghana. The support is loud for you, Black Stars. Go out and make Mother Ghana proud. Make the nation proud. Grab the 3 points. If we cannot make the 3 points, at least 1 point. We'll share the points with England. But I believe that we'll grab 3 points. There's going to be a lot of conversation today at 12:30 p.m. on Game Time, where Dennis and Nana K will bring you conversations that are very important on the Black Stars and in the world of sport. You don't want to miss out at all on Game Time today on ABC News GHN. So 12:30 p.m. Tune in here. Watch us on Facebook and on YouTube. As I close, I want to say a big thank you to you, my viewers. There's no ABC in the morning without you, my viewers, my callers, my texters. I appreciate you so much for joining me every morning here on ABC in the morning. To the production and the technical team for putting together today's show, a big thank you to you. We support Black Stars. We are urging Black Stars on to victory. Come on, Black Stars Ghana. Go Black Stars, go. I am ABENA MANTE. I wish you the very best of your Tuesday. Keep your head up. Do not relent in your pursuit of happiness and continue to work hard towards your goals. You will be able to achieve